Welcome into the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I am Jake Willett. I am joined alongside Nolan Humphreys here for women's lacrosse North Atlantic Conference opener between the 4-2 Husson University Eagles and the 2-2 Thomas College Terriers. Welcome into today's contest. Today is our Morgan's Message game, celebrating the mental health struggles throughout collegiate athletics. Eagles coming in 4-2, like I mentioned. Thomas 2-2, 0-1 in North Atlantic Conference play. They fell down to the University of Maine Farmington Beavers 7-2 in their last contest back on the 21st. So two teams that are coming in about a week after they played their last game. Eagles won 15-2 against Massachusetts Maritime. And a big day for Kate Bemke, 4 goals in that one. Getting ready for the opening draw control here between Isabella Pelletier and Avery Baker. And Avery Baker wins the first draw control. Quick offensive pace for the Eagles. Team that has been scoring in bunches as of late. Layla Martinez returning to the action after her successful basketball season. Ball down low behind the cage. Back up top, shot off the crossbar. Reese Sullivan fires one off the top of the bar, and the Eagles still have possession.
Really good pass there from Layla Martinez to a cutting Reese Sullivan, and Sullivan, her shot just goes bar down, but bar down and out.
Layla Martinez gets one cutting right in front of the goalie there in Bristol's sign, and the Eagles open up the scoring with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, good goal there for Martinez. That'll be her 8th goal of the season. Really good job. She started that play facilitating, and she's going to end it getting a nice goal. Exactly the way you want to start to open up conference play against your rival, Thomas.
Pelletier, Baker at the center of the field here at Boucher Field. Eagles open up the scoring less than a minute into the contest. Pelletier wins this draw control. Pelletier leads the Terriers in goals. Coming into this one, 12 on the year, the junior from Poland, Maine. Ball thrown just out of the reach of Sadie Dorr. Dorr working into the middle. Tight contested defense there by the Eagles and Adela Maybe. And the Eagles gain possession. Baker's going to start it. Kate Bemke was trying to find Madison Lauer just out of her reach. Martinez corrals the loose ball.
Yeah, Lauer would have had a pretty much one-on-one with the goalie breakaway had Kate Bemke put that on the tape.
Maybe swings it over to Layla Martinez. Ball stolen away in the defensive zone for the Terriers. And good stick work there from Kaylee Crocker to corral the turnover. And Lauer using her speed here. Cuts back into the middle of the fine Kate Bemke. Bemke leads the conference in points and goals. And a save there from Bristol's sign, the senior from Fairfax, Virginia. Terriers working across midfield now. Carissa Katoya swings the ball down to Georgie Arduini. Thomas trying to get on the score sheet. Good find to Sadie Dorr into the middle. Almost lost it. Gets it back, a little shovel flip into the middle. Porthero can't get it. And the Eagles are going to clear it. Adela Mabey returning to the area after she played her high school ball here in the area. Played her freshman season at UMass Dartmouth with the Corsai. Eagles are early here in this one, outpacing the Terriers. Another turnover in the offensive zone and a whistle.
Yeah, some contact there. Looked like it was Riley Maynard. Made contact on the Thomas player.
Under 5 minutes to go here. Green card for Maynard. So she will have a seat for a minute. Under 5 minutes here in this one. Nolan, what are your keys to another win here opening up the North Atlantic Conference season for the Eagles?
I mean, yeah, they've got to find their best players on the inside. You know that Avery Baker is going to be kind of the player that can not only score goals but facilitate the ball as well. And overall, when you look at how Husson wants to constrict their game right there, I mean, look at that goal shorthanded.
Kate Bemke firing one over the top shoulder.
I mean, Bemke, her 20th goal of the season there. She's got 30 points in 6 games. And she scored in every game now, so 7th consecutive game where she's on the score sheet. That's kind of the key to success right there, is just going through your stars, playing through Avery Baker and Bemke. And, I mean, there's not much that those two aren't going to do to help you go out there and get the win.
10:38 remaining here in the first quarter. Bemke and Layla Martinez are the two on the score sheet for the Eagles. Bemke goal was unassisted and shorthanded. Another draw control win for Avery Baker. Finding Lauer in the middle. Lauer surveying and kicking it out. Down low for Baker. Up top for Martinez.
About 15 seconds to go on the Riley Maynard penalty.
Avery Baker found an open lane in the middle. Couldn't control it, though. Martinez swinging it around. Riley Maynard back in action. Shot from Maybe. And a big save from Bristol Sign.
Yeah, maybe with a really good shot there, and just a better save for Bristol Sign. Her best save of this game so far. See if that can swing any momentum in Thomas's favor.
We got a whistle. It looks like the Eagles might have a free position shot coming up.
You want to capitalize on these as much as you can. I mean, really free opportunities to get shots on net. And a little early there was the Thomas player, so they're going to reset this.
Layla Martinez has the ball for the free position shot. If she chooses to take it, Martinez walking in, fires in, shoots it just wide. Scooped up by Sign. And she's going to fire one up into the middle. and was looking for a teammate. Bemke steals it away. Lauer walking in, finds an open teammate. In front, Gardner misses just wide. And Avery Baker loses control of that one, and it's going to be scooped up by Sign.
Yeah, we haven't really been able to talk much about Finley Pomerleau there on the other end. That's Husson's goalkeeper today. She comes into this game leading the NAC in goals against average with a 6.40.
Whistle here. Green card coming against the Eagles. It'll be Jory Boyd picking up the green card. Hasn't found the score sheet yet so far in 6 games. The defender from Corinna, Maine.
Yeah, I think one big factor here for Husson, if they want to continue kind of the pressure that they've been able to put on early in this game, is staying out of the box. I know you have a shorthanded goal already in this game, but you definitely want to limit your chances of giving Thomas opportunities on the player up.
Sadie Dorr up top here working on Gracie Gardner. Firing in the middle, and that one goes high over the stick of Pomerleau.
That's exactly what Thomas wants to look for, though, passing it kind of a couple feet above the crease, and it was Carissa Katoya with the chance. She just shot it wide.
Another shot deflected and out of bounds. As Thomas was the closest one to it, so they will retain here.
Getting the most offensive zone time, though. Much better start to this player up advantage than it was the other one where they allowed a shorthanded goal in 13 seconds.
Boyd now out of the box. And a steal in the defensive zone. The Eagles with a stand during the power play. Scooped up here, and now Pelletier with Gracie Gardner right in her personal space.
Yeah, really good job there by Gracie Gardner. She's going to force the turnover, and Bemke's going to have it going the other way for Husson.
3-on-1 for the Eagles. Baker just loses possession. The ball is a little behind her, gets it back, walks in, fires and scores.
What a goal there for Avery Baker. Kate Bemke kind of started the play, found the outlet pass to Avery Baker. Baker not able to control the pass, but she gets it back, and it seems like she's just wanted to make it a little bit more difficult for herself as she travels through a couple of defenders, and a little backhand shovel shot beats Bristol Sign in an early lead here for Husson. It's 3-0.
Baker has goal 18 on the season and goal 149, just adding to her already record-setting career here with the program.
She scored that goal, but as we look at kind of her records that she's closing in on, she's 1 assist away from being tied for 3rd in all-time Husson Eagles assist, and if she grabs 2, then she'll move up to 2nd all by herself.
Lauer in the middle decides to take it on back. A lot of the records that Avery has broken so far this year have come by surpassing her own head coach, Amanda DeHaze, who was one of the best best lacrosse players in this program's history. She takes the reign as the head coach.
Yeah, not only a great player in herself, but a good head coach as well. So
we have a whistle here. Looks to be a free position shot. Adela Mabey is going to be the one to take it.
She's got 3 goals on the season, looking for her 4th.
Mabey walks in, fires and puts one into the back of the net.
Yeah, maybe they should have tried to guard that a little bit better. Adela maybe picks up her 4th goal in 7 games, and she now extends her goal streak from 3 games to 4 games. And Husson out with an early lead. It seems like Thomas is making a ton of mistakes early on, and Husson's able to capitalize on those, whether that's the free possession shots or the turnovers that Thomas is committing. One thing I think that could work in Thomas's favor is if you can force Husson to get a penalty, because you saw that's when the most offensive zone time came for Thomas is when they were on the player up.
Baker, Pelletier for the draw control. Thomas is playing with a very, very limited bench. 1 field player on this Thomas bench. Very small roster. Gardner in the middle. Finds Shannon McDonough. Is coming off of a North Atlantic Conference Rookie of the Week award. Bemke up top. Working it down low, maybe now. Swings it to Lauer. And McDonough. Eagles coming into this one, winning 2 out of the 3 weekly awards for the North Atlantic Conference. Layla Martinez picked up the Defensive Player of the Week award, with the previously mentioned Shannon McDonough winning Rookie of the Week. 5th North Atlantic Conference award on the season for the Eagles. Olvera gets it up to Sophia Clayton. Pelletier coming in 7th in the conference in points, 5th in the conference in goals. She's been pretty much the entire offense for this Terriers team. Throws one into the middle, and it goes past a teammate, and it'll run out of bounds into the gravel. And the Eagles are going to get possession here. And a whistle. And it'll be a turnover.
Now this is one of those situations where Thomas has to try to capitalize on this. A turnover by Husson. We'll see if they can continue some sustained zone time.
Down low, Thomas now. Working in some of the offense now. Kicks it out to Ardunini. One of our officials picking up something on the ground over there. Free position shot for the Terriers. Believe it is Pelletier. Fires and puts one over top.
What a goal there. Can't make out who that is. Georgie Arduini with a nice snipe there on the free possession shot. Usually you see a lot of players kind of try to balance it, and she just goes sidearm top shelf. I don't even know if Tim Thomas would have stopped that one. That was a rocket.
Absolute missile. Off the stick of Georgie Arduini. Picks up her 3rd goal of the season. Here in game number 5. And the Eagles looked to have recovered, but then a whistle coming in.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want for Thomas. Right now, it's going to be Avery Baker off to the box. Thomas, obviously just put the ball in the back of the net. So with the ball being in your best player's hands and Isabella Pelletier, wonder if with this 1 minute power play they're going to have, can that pressure continue?
Eagles have already denied both power play opportunities. And a whistle. We'll have another free position attempt. It'll be Katarina Olvera to have the free position shot here. Walks in, fires, and puts it past Finley Pomerleau. And it is now 4-2. Eagles lead. So 2 shots from the free position and 2 find the back of the net.
Yeah, and that one a little bit different than the first one. The first one was just a snipe in the air, and that one kind of on the ground. And now Thomas doing a really good job at making Husson hurt for the penalties that they've taken. They've cut the lead in half, and for Olvera, that's going to be her 7th goal of the season. The freshman from Santa Barbara, California.
Baker Pelletier at the draw control. And scooped up by Avery Baker. Eagles looking to capitalize on the momentum. And the Eagles will have possession after the whistle. Isabella Pelletier will head on over to the box. And a yellow. Two-minute non-releasable penalty here for Isabella Pelletier after the dangerous contact.
Yeah, now this is a great time for Husson University to really make Thomas pay for that big penalty, especially with it being their best player, Isabella Pelletier, into the box for 2 minutes, and it's an unreleasable, so Husson can score as many times as they would like to.
Gardner had an opportunity, and it'll be Thomas' ball.
That's one of those moments where you're not even kind of processing. You want to, you're about to score, so you don't even think that you have to catch the ball first, and unfortunately, you do have to catch the ball first to score.
It's a pretty integral part of this game.
See how Thomas's penalty kill works out here. Much, much needed, as they've had the momentum for the last couple of minutes. And with 30 seconds in this first quarter, we'll see.
Bristol Sign kind of retreated and took out some time off the clock. Swings it into the middle. Here's Avery Baker. Down low for Layla Martinez. Swings it around the back of the net. And that'll do it for the first quarter here at Boucher Field. The Eagles have a 4-2 lead and will be on the power play for the first 41 seconds of the second quarter. Nolan and I will be back here in a flash here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back here to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We're just winding down the intermission break between quarters. I don't think it's called an intermission, but we're going to call it an intermission. Eagles will have the power play for 41 seconds, and will have the ball in their offensive zone. So we flip sides of the field. I got to flip sides of my papers.
They've already scored on the power play today. We'll see if they have another opportunity. They've also scored shorthanded, so Husson able to kind of do it all.
Bemke surveying, stalking up top, finds one down low, shot, score! No, it hit the side of the net. That's on me.
Yeah, from our point of view, though, it does look like that kind of goes in, and that was kind of a rocket of a shot, so.
Turnover in the middle, and a whistle. 5 seconds remain on the power play. Free position shot. Madison Lauer. Pelletier out of the box. Lauer walks in. Fires and scores this time.
Yeah, sweet goal there. It's not going to be a power play goal because the penalty had just released, but really good goal for Madison Lauer. And that's her 4th of the season, her 16th in her career, the senior from Winslow, Maine. We're going to talk a ton about those free position shots because, I mean, they're really gimmies. They're like shooting free throws. You really should be able to put those in the back of the net. And we've seen that if you're not able to, then it's going to cost you the game.
Baker, Pelletier for the draw control. Thrown up in the air and corralled by the Eagles, and Kate Bemke spins. Goes over the top, finds Baker. Little sidearm shovel to Lauer. Lauer walks in. And a big stick save there by Bristol Sign.
Yeah, really good save. Sign understood that Lauer only had a certain amount of angles, so if Sign kind of hugged her post over there, she was going to be able to create the angle that Lauer wasn't going to be able to put the puck or the ball in the back of the net.
And ball turned over by the Terriers. It is Lauren Small. Small won Rookie of the Week in the opening week of the season. Ball down low now for Layla Martinez. He's taking all the time and space. Walking through the middle. McDonough. Over to Lauer, back to McDonough. Tic-tac-toe action. Ball into the middle. That was Reese Sullivan in the middle. And maybe throws it away, but the Eagles corral again. Here comes Madison Lauer finding Reese Sullivan with one defender on. Eagles swinging the ball around. Good ball movement here for Coach DeHays' Eagles. Maybe down low. Excuse me, that's Avery Baker down low. Swinging around, Bemke. McDonough to Sullivan. Eagles taking all the time in the world down low. And knocked down and stolen away by Sadie Dorr.
Yeah, and that's one of those where it's really good offensive possession by Husson. They're not able to get anything out of it. And then a really good job defensively for Thomas to be able to stand their ground. And Sadie Dorr with the really nice play to turn over. And now Thomas has it their way.
Katoya gets it back from Ardeni. And stolen away down low from Jory Boyd. And throws it over the head of Reese Sullivan. And Kate Bemke almost gets to it. Laughing it off. She almost collided with her head coach. Here on the near sideline. And another steal and another turnover for Jory Boyd. Lauer trying to corral it and a whistle. It's going to go the way of the Eagles. Terriers thought the ball was a little further back than it was played out. Whistle. That's going to go against the Eagles. Swung around. Arduini. And a big steal into the middle from Layla Martinez using her point guard-like reflexes to get through the middle. Lauer down low. Eagles really trying to work that cut in front of the goalie, hit the backdoor pass.
Yeah, it seems like Thomas if they've been there most of the times, it's a really good play if you're able to get it connect, because it should just be a tic-tac type of play to put in the back of the net, but
Kate Bemke loses the foot race with Sign.
I think the best thing right now for Husson, I think you want to start going through your best players, Bemke and Avery Baker. Take them behind the net, go to X, and try to facilitate from there. That's what we saw early on in the game that got them their first couple of goals. So we'll see if they kind of get back to this simple way that their offense can run.
Jordan Pelletier to Arderney. Door. Whistle. And the Eagles will have the ball. Gets it to Pomerleau. Pomerleau finds Kate Bemke. Bemke walks through the middle. Corrals. Martinez. Over to Sullivan. You have Baker down low, Bemke up top. Ball in the middle. And corralled by Gardner just off the stick of Maybe. Gracie Gardner finds it in the middle. Shot. And that one goes wide. The shot there from Avery Baker. Eagles will have the ball behind the net now. Behind the cage is Gracie Gardner. Gardner into the middle. Bemke. Couldn't get something off. Sullivan to Bemke. Bemke was looking for Avery Baker. Maybe 20 seconds on the shot clock.
They're doing a really good job at tiring out that Thomas defense. And a broken stick there for Kate Bemke as she goes to catch the ball, and the head of the stick comes completely off.
Shot clock resets. McDonough replaces Bemke. After Bemke's stick had other plans and wanted to take an early vacation.
Yeah, it's been getting pretty worn out with 30 points on the season and 20 goals.
Gardner to Baker. And stolen away by Gwendolyn Shilley.
Really good job for the Thomas defense as they've been pressured in a ton, but you know, they're bending but not breaking on this Husson offense.
Pelletier. Walking in. Pelletier, underhand shovel, and stolen away. Good defense there on the other end from the Eagles. That was Layla Martinez. And finds the field vision for McDonough. Now to Baker. One-on-one, Avery Baker. Pass, shot, off the post. The Eagles have hit the post multiple times here this afternoon.
And that one right there would have been a record for Avery Baker, as she was there and on the assist. It was all but in the back of the net as it goes off the post.
And a foul on the Eagles. .5:30 remaining here in the first half. The Eagles, 5 goals on the day, 5 different goal scorers. McDonough into the middle for Baker. Baker trying to walk through 6 different Thomas Terrier defenders. Ball on the turf, scooped up by Lauer. Lauer, and a nice easy save there for Bristol Sign.
Yeah, not too much there. First sign, really nice save, and now it's Thomas the other way. Avery Baker was trying to do everything she could to put that put the ball in the net.
And now Pelletier trying to get on the score sheet. Shovels it and knocked down by Pomerleau. Pomerleau outlets to Martinez.
Coming into this game, Pomerleau had a .429 save percentage. That was 3rd in the conference, so 1st in goals against coming into this game, 3rd in save percentage. Without a doubt, one of the best goalies in the NAC.
Lauer gets it down low for McDonough. Into the middle and just out of the reach of Adela Maybe. Once again, we see the Eagles trying to go with the cut into the middle action. Gardner surveying down low and knocked away by the Terriers. Ball almost thrown back into their own net, but Sign was there to corral it. Ball into the middle. Georgie Arduini. Thomas working it around. Slowing the pace down. Pelletier loses it and scooped up by Finley Pomerleau.
Pomerleau's been really good on breakout passes. I might have just jinxed her there, but before that, she was pretty lights out when it comes to clearing it. And
Pelletier fires one over the top shoulder. And Thomas gets within 2 again.
That's just a snipe for Pelletier as she moves up from 12 goals to 13. And just it's kind of the same one that we saw when Georgie Arduini had that free position shot. Just top shelf. Nothing that Finley Pomerleau could do about that.
Layla Martinez will be in the draw control circle with Katarina Olvera. Kate Bemke also back into the contest after her stick decided to take a short vacation. And a draw control violation there from Olvera. And here come the Eagles with Bemke and Baker, the Killer Bees. Gardner to Bemke. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Down underneath. Gardner swings it up top for Bemke. Bemke over to Sullivan and over to Martinez.
Yeah, and it looks like Isabella Pelletier down here, she might have dislocated her finger. Thomas's best player.
Isabel Harrington comes in for Pelletier into the middle. Baker shimmies, shovels, and gets it through.
Her second goal with that backhand shovel kind of motion there, and this one trickles through Bristol's sign and in the back of the net. Avery Baker with her second goal of the game, and that's her 18th of the year. She's now tied for second and the NAC. Or excuse me, that's her 19th. She's now tied for second in the NAC there.
Sole possession of second place.
Yeah. I just gave up after my second attempt.
I knew what you were trying to say.
Yeah, well, I had forgot Bemke put one in the back of the net in this one, so she'd be 20. And then Baker would be at 19 there, second place all by herself.
Yeah. So Baker picks up her second of the night. Afternoon, same thing. Sharon McDonough.
It's pretty light outside for it to be nighttime.
I'm trying to get the good vibes here. 7 o'clock when it's still sun out. That's what I'm kind of working with here, trying to get to. Baker is quadruple teamed every time she touches the ball inside the shooting area.
And it doesn't really seem to be working as she's got some assists and some goals in this.
Martinez shoveling it over to Baker. Under a minute to go here in the first half. Gardner finding Bemke. To Baker. Baker off the post.
Third post of the game for the Husson Eagles. And with 25 seconds and counting, the ball will stay with Husson.
Eagles trying to get something on the score sheet before the end of the half. Gardner circling around. Trying to find one of Sullivan in the middle. Loose ball knocked down by the Terriers. And ball got given to Bristol Sign, and she will let the clock run out here in the first half. Eagles lead 6-3. Nolan, first half thoughts?
Yeah, Husson really dominated the first quarter, and then that second quarter, Thomas did a really good job at fighting back. Husson needs to stay out of the penalty box because that's when they get most of their offensive zone time. And right now it's kind of that back and forth type of battle. I think for Thomas, every free position shot that you get, I think you want to capitalize on that. Going high on Finley Pomerleau, that seems to kind of be the route to take and to solve her. So, yeah, I mean, Husson Stars are playing.
Eagles lead 6-3. We will be back in about 10 minutes for second half action here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back into the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Jake Collette. I'm joined alongside Nolan Humphreys. We are just getting ready to start the second half here at Boucher Field. The Eagles double the Terrier lead. The Terrier score, 6-3 Eagles lead. 6 goals, 5 different goal scorers, including 2 from Avery Baker. Thomas won the draw control, and they have it in the offensive zone. Isabella Pelletier working in the offense now, gets it to Sadie Dorr. Knocked down into the middle, stolen away by Gracie Gardner. Now the Eagles will break on the offensive end. A little trouble corralling it was Avery Baker. Baker gets it to Layla Martinez. Ball down low, Bemke. Bemke sidearm shovel, and that one goes over the bar.
It looks like for Thomas College, we have a new goalie into the game. Bristol sign out, and is Amber Boardman, the freshman goalkeeper from Lawrence, Mass.
2 top goals against averages in the conference. In between, in the cage right now. Pomerleau, 640 coming in. Boardman, a flat 7 coming in. And Bemke's stick decided to take another vacation. Thought the first vacation wasn't long enough. Martinez. Bemke gets a new stick. And Thomas now takes over. Bemke now with green lacing in her stick. And that one goes to the back of the net. An own goal on the Terriers.
What do you even call that? I mean, I guess the closest player to it's going to get it, or the last person to touch it.
Reese Sullivan currently has her stick on the ground.
They don't even need it.
It wasn't stick. It wasn't her. It was Madison Lauer.
They don't even really need to check the stick if it doesn't go into the back and then off your stick.
I'm going to say it's Lauer's goal just because she had the stick on the ground.
Yeah, no, I mean, she was the last person from Husson to touch it, so it would make sense. It looks like we got Max Stern back here reviewing it. Sounds like it will be Madison Lauer's goal. Jake was correct.
Shocker. Shocker. You can ask my girlfriend. She'll tell you wrong.
I think that's how that goes, though, with girlfriends.
Yeah.
You're
never right.
You've got to give it up at some point.
Yep.
But good goal there. That's probably the weirdest goal Madison Lauer has scored in her collegiate career. That goes in a Thomas player, and
a wonky goal there for Madison Lauer.
Her second of the game.
And we'll see what Thomas tries to do here after the wonkiness of the own goal. And they turn it over in the offensive zone. Layla Martinez.
She's had a good day with a goal and an assist. Couple of draw controls as well.
Sullivan.
I think Layla Martinez is going to have a really good case at getting another NAC Defensive Player of the Week with the 3 caused turnovers, 3 draw controls, and 2 ground balls that she has only in the first half. So we'll see if she can add to that stat line in this second half.
Bemke trying to work through with the new stick. Sullivan down low for Maybe. Maybe around for Gardner.
They're doing a really good job of just being able to swing the ball. Good passes.
First shot with the new stick goes into the back of the net for Kate Bemke. And she picks up her second goal of the afternoon.
She just continues to be the best player in this game. And that's now her 21st goal of the season. Her 53rd in her career, and she has 31 points on this season now.
Once again, it will be Layla Martinez. Taking the draw control. Won by the Terriers. Ball behind the net, Sadie Dorr. And knocked away by Crocker, Kaylee Crocker. Tiptoeing around the sideline there was Ardeni. And she takes one up high, and Gardner's going to get the unfortunate. So Gardner's going to come to the box. Green card. Really kind of incidental contact there from Gracie Gardner. Arduini kind of just forced the contact.
And now for Husson, they've already got a goal shorthanded where they try to get another one. Or will Thomas get themselves a power play goal?
Ball thrown out of the reach of Pelletier and a turnover. So the power play opportunity goes awry.
Some numbers real quick on the new goalie for Thomas, number 15, Amber Boardman. She has 2 games started this season, 21 goals against, and 23 saves with a .523 save percentage, and she is 1-2 on the season.
Those were stat nuggets brought to you by Nolan Humphreys. As the international superstar, Avery Henningsen has made his way into the broadcast booth. Thomas turns it over, Bemke, and then loses it. I'm going to blame that on the new stick.
You can't really blame it on the new stick, though, because she scored.
That's true. She did score with the new stick. If the turnover happened before the goal,
exactly,
we can blame it on the stick.
And it's very difficult as someone that, you know, you play your whole season with one stick and then it breaks and you have to go out there.
Breaks twice.
Yeah, breaks twice, and you have to go out there and get a new stick that you haven't used all game. It's very, very difficult.
We got a whistle. Believe we will have a free position shot, and that is what will happen. Adela maybe now has it.
And she's already got 1 goal in this game. It was off of a free position shot, excuse me.
And Adela maybe is going to put one into the back of the net on the free position attempt. So her second of the contest, second free position goal of the contest.
Yeah, she's had a really good, quiet game in this one. 2 goals on 3 shots, 4 ground balls, a draw control, and 1 caused turnover. She's been really good for this Husson Eagle group, and with that goal, it'll be her 5th goal on the season. 5th goal all time at Husson, as she was at UMass Dartmouth last season for her freshman year. And
put up a solid season over there, too.
yeah.
Just above point per game.
Yep, 18 games started, 8 goals, 11 assists, 19 points, 23 ground balls, 9 caused turnovers, and 5 draw controls. And decides to bring her talents back to her home.
And tough draw there for the Eagles. That one sneaks out of bounds. We're just about 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Eagles lead 9-3. Have scored 3 goals in this one, in this quarter alone.
Definitely their best quarter by far. And for Thomas, it's kind of what do you do now to counterattack the way Husson's been able to play. As you can see right now, Layla Martinez with a really good ride. She's going to go off to the box for a penalty, in my opinion. I'm going to do the early prediction that Layla Martinez will win Defensive Player of the Week for this week. I can see her going back-to-back with the type of game that she's having. However, she'll go to the box for 1 minute. Now Thomas will be on the player up.
Nolan putting it into the ether.
Putting it out there. I'm also going to put out a shorthanded goal right here.
Kate Bemke walking in. Does the prediction come true? And it goes over the top of the bar.
You know, I don't think announcers ever really predict things right. Usually when you say it, the opposite comes true.
Correct.
But it's really fascinating how much pressure that Husson's been able to get shorthanded. Thomas not doing their best work on the power play. It seems as if they might they would rather play at even strength at that point. And
Lauer to Gardner. Now the Eagles are slowing the pace down as the Layla Martinez penalty has expired. Even strength. Looking into the middle. Can Bemke get to it before it goes out of bounds? No.
Good hustle there, though, by Kate Bemke. Now, if Thomas can work up a couple of passes, string them together, they're going to have an opportunity. We'll see if that happens.
Thomas swinging around. And the turnover by the Terriers. A couple substitutions coming on in. Shannon McDonough and Ryan Mucci. Baker, down low. Shot off the helmet of Boardman.
Yeah, really good save. Her best save since she's been in the game. And good chance there for Reese Sullivan. Really good goal scorer. As she's almost about a goal per game on her career, and she just goes right off of the helmet.
Save any way you can.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that a couple too many times in soccer, got too many concussions for it.
Yeah, no, that's a quick way to...
And that goes in!
Another one of those crazy goals.
Another wonky goal for the Eagles.
That'll be Grace Gardner with her 9th of the season. And her first goal in this game. She's got an assist to go along with that by Gracie Gardner.
2-point afternoon for Gracie Gardner.
She now sits in 5th place in the NAC. Tied for 5th with 15 points. She's had a couple of penalties, 3 fouls in this game. When she's on the field, she's a threat pretty much from anywhere and able to put that one in the back of the net.
Layla Martinez in the draw control. So we take a look at the other game happening here in the North Atlantic Conference. The Maine Maritime Mariners have a 9-0 lead heading into the second half against UMaine. Farmington Bella Scarlaro leads the way with 3 goals for the Mariners. Julia Wade with 2 on top of that. Scolaro, 5 points, adding 2 assists to her afternoon.
She now sits at third place in the NAC leaders with that stat line. And it's pretty impressive, though, for Husson to have 4 players in that category, the most of any other team in this NAC conference.
DeViercy also a 2-point afternoon for the Mariners, a goal and an assist. Eagles and Mariners will match up here in a couple days at Boucher Field on Tuesday night.
That'll be a good game. 5 p.m., the Headstrong Foundation game.
Shout them out. Boardman just taking her sweet time. And throws it away. Boardman just took about a minute off of the clock and threw it out of bounds.
Nobody really able to get open there for Thomas. And that next game on Tuesday, Owen Snow will be on the call for that one.
Baker gets it to Martinez. Martinez thought about a shot, decided against it. Swinging it around. The Eagles now walking into the middle. Gardner down low for Sullivan. Sullivan's just going to walk right in as it poked away. And we have a whistle. And looks to be another free position shot for the Eagles. And it will, and it'll be Reese Sullivan to take it this time.
Looking for her first goal in this game.
Sullivan fired that one.
Not able to find it there, as that one had some velocity on it.
Little contact there between Baker and a Terrier. Baker now gets it to Gardner.
Seems like every time she's got the ball, there's at least 4 to 5 defenders in there with her.
Martinez couldn't get a shot off. Baker corrals. Down low for Mucci. Bemke. Baker gets it to go. Beautiful passing from Kate Bemke and a hat trick for Avery Baker.
Yeah, kind of a wraparound goal there. There's really nothing that goaltender Amber Boardman could really do about that one. Avery Baker gets the hat trick, increases her point total. She's in there battling with her teammate Kate Bemke for point leaders in the NAC as they're 1 and 2.
Chaos in the press box.
Always is.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in the sports information department.
Husson has 5 goals in this quarter. They've increased their lead to 8 now, as it is 11-3. Thomas is going to have to start turning some things around right now if they want to try to claw their way back into this one.
Arduini. Underhand shovel to Sadie Dorr, who's been very quiet on the score sheet today. Her and Pelletier are only a combined 2 points out of the 4 for the Terriers. On about 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Baker, underhand to Martinez. Martinez up top for Lauer. The Eagles trying to get something into the back of the cage before the quarter expires. Mucci with 15 on the clock. Around the back of the net, Baker. Up top for Bemke. The jump shot, no good, and she took a hard landing. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Eagles explode for 5 in the quarter. They lead 11-3 after 45 minutes of play. We will be back in a flash here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Final 15 here at Boucher Field. The Eagles lead the Terriers 11-3. Jake Willett and Nolan Humphreys up here in the booth. And the main man, Chase, running the ones and twos. Doing some fantastic camera work here with the joystick. Terriers with the ball behind their own cage. And stolen away by the Eagles in the middle for Baker. Baker cuts in the middle, shoots, and puts it into the back of the net. Avery Baker opening up the quarter with her 4th of the day.
Another goal there for Avery Baker. And it's just every time that she's in the crease around that area, she's got a high chance to put the ball in the back of the net. And she does that there. Really good job, good feed as well. And now Thomas every time they touch the ball, it's got to be going into their zone.
You almost said puck again.
Yeah, it's probably said it like 6 times by now. It feels like hockey all the time.
All the
This
time.
sport, so. And it feels like a hockey arena in here. It's so cold.
So cold. I once again wore the wrong shoes for this. It was 50, like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Bemke to Martinez.
Yeah, I tried to go on a walk last night. Nope.
Nope.
Went about 20 feet, turned around.
How about no? Bemke into the middle, and Lauer. It's denied there by Boardman.
Really good save by Boardman there as Lauer was looking to go 5-hole, bounce it right through the legs, and Boardman was there.
Bemke fires up top. Beautiful shot, taking the top corner. And Kate Bemke will have a hat trick.
And with that assist, Avery Baker now moves into a tie with her head coach, Amanda DeHaze, with 59 assists in her Husson career. She's got 131 goals, so she's way past that mark. But that's a good stat there for Avery Baker. Is when it's all said and done, she's got a pretty good chance to be the best player for Husson women's lacrosse.
And Husson field hockey.
Yeah, field hockey, she's very good as well. Same thing with her teammate Gracie Gardner. Gracie Gardner plays field hockey as well.
A timeout called here by Thomas and Coach Jen Morris in her first season at the helm since returning to Thomas College, her 4th season with the Terriers in total.
See, it's all laughs and smiles in the Husson timeout circle over there, and for Thomas, not so much.
See what happens here out of the timeout.
Down 10 goals. It's been
Bristol Sign, I believe, started the quarter.
Yep.
So she headed back to the cage. So she made the save.
Husson has 7 unanswered goals right now, and it started with that weird goal where Madison Lauer got credited for the goal, although it went in off of a Thomas player threw it into her own net.
To quote the great Santina Morella, a lot of shenanigans happening here at Boucher Field. Lots of weird bounces.
And then a ton of snipes.
And that one goes out of bounds. Sign with a breakout pass right into the stick. Well, almost into the stick of Kaylee Crocker. And Crocker's going to give a little bit of a bump. Thomas working through their offensive zone with as much pace as they had since the beginning stages of this one.
Yeah, you're going to have to start hurrying it up a little bit. Getting in the shooting zone and just start firing them. You can't really worry about accuracy and trying to plant your shots. You have to just get in there and just start firing away.
Maine Farmington has scored 2 unanswered goals. Sadie Harvey and Ruby McMinnis adding to the goal scoring for the Beavers. They're down 9-2 with just over 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Eagles will match up with Farmington on the 11th here at Boucher Field for Senior Day. So it'll be a little bit of time before the Eagles and the Beavers collide. All forces ahead. Every sport between those two teams is a real true rivalry. Bemke down low. McDonough maybe coming out. Gardner's in, along with Ella Duchette, who led the Eagles field hockey team to a Central Maine Collegiate Field Hockey Conference Championship in the cage for the field hockey program. And that one goes into the back of the net. Believe it was Avery Baker. We'll get confirmation from our public address announcer, Zach Mills.
Yeah, looks like it will be her for her 5th goal of the game. She's on pace for 2 hat tricks in this game. Do you throw your hat, what do you got to bring 2 hats when someone scores 6 goals?
Yeah.
Because you imagine your first one's gone already.
Yeah, the
right?
first one's gone.
You don't go back and get it. So when someone, or when they score another hat trick for 6 goals, which Avery Baker's one away.
Are we throwing shoes?
But that's 2 shoes. You would have to throw both of them. You can't walk around with just 1 shoe on.
Well, that's true. You got to throw a jacket? But then you don't walk around with a jacket.
Then you're cold.
I mean, I'm wearing like 4 layers and I'm cold.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help. That doesn't help our conversation.
No.
Trying to get a point across.
I don't know what to throw.
Imagine when you have your second hat trick, you have to throw your cellular telephone. You just see a lot of iPhones and Samsungs being thrown onto the ice.
Yeah. What if you got an Uber back home? What do? You
got to figure it out, then. We got a whistle against the Terriers.
So everybody lining up to use one phone.
You got to go to the security. Get your phone back. You got to go to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Pick up your phone again.
And your hat.
Layla Martinez gets it to Ella Duchette. Baker. Bemke. Swinging it around Gardner. Duchette. Gardner. The field hockey players using the chemistry from the fall. Back to Duchette. Duchette down low for Lauer, into the middle for Baker. Jump pass. And stolen away by the Terriers. Georgie Arduini to Pelletier. Pelletier working on Gracie Gardner. A little hesitation and gets into some open space. Gardner to Bemke. Outletting to Baker. 2-on-2. Baker. Back door. Looking back door there for Sarah Louise. Duchette has that one knocked out of her stick. And a whistle. ball's going to go to the Terriers. Terriers get the ball out. 6:35 remaining here in the final stage of this quarter of the game.
See if they look to go to their best player there, Isabella Pelletier, number 3 on the far side.
He's one of the goal scorers, Oliveira. Oliveira working behind the net. And fires one wide over the top shoulder of Finley Pomerleau. And another turnover by the Terriers. And here come the Eagles. Emma Webster to Avery Baker. Back to Lauer. Lauer shoots and scores. And the goal will count after some deliberation.
And Lauer with her 3rd goal, I believe, in this game. So there's another hat trick.
And now Avery Baker is now in sole possession of 3rd place on the assist total, on the assist leaderboard.
Yeah, she's got 60 goals, or I always do that, 60 assists.
You figure it out over there.
Yeah, one day. Maybe if it wasn't so cold, I'd be able to think of it. 60 assists now for her as she passes her head coach, Amanda DeHaze.
So she is now 3 assists behind Alyssa Fallon for 2nd place. And then the top assist leader is 93. Natalie Witten played here from 2022 to 2025. She leads the program with 93 assists. So Avery Baker is currently 33 assists behind.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to catch her. The senior midfielder, Avery Baker. The most assists she's had in a season was last year with 18 assists. She had 36 goals that season. So if she quits scoring so many goals a game, because she's already got that record, then maybe she'll be able to get the assist one.
She's got the points record.
Yeah.
She's got multiple of the field hockey records. Here comes Sarah Louise. Walking in a big save by Sign. And Amelia Saunders tried to fire one, couldn't get it home. Here's Avery Baker. Into the middle for Gardner, spins. Underhand shot and goes through the wickets and into the back of the cage.
Yeah, sweet goal there, underarm. Underhand type of shot there for Gracie Gardner. She gets another one.
Her 2nd of the day.
And with 3 minutes to go in this game, 3 minutes and counting, we'll see Isabella Pelletier and Avery Baker on the draw control.
And Avery Baker wins the draw control. Gardner. Eagles up 16-3. You're in the final stages of regulation. And a turnover on the Eagles. 2 minutes remaining here in regulation. Eagles, after not playing in over a week in game action, they are coming out guns blazing. The offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Fourth straight game with over 10 goals. And fifth game on the season with over 10. Maine Farmington has scored 4 unanswered goals here in the third quarter down in Castine. McMinnis pots her 20th goal of the season, which she's still behind Kate Bemke for the conference lead.
And Avery Baker. As Avery Baker's got 5, so she's up to 22.
Layla Martinez walking in, and that one goes wide. And Bristol Sign with 30 seconds to go in this one. Ball knocked down by Chelsea Curtis. And a big collision in the middle of the field between Georgie Arduini and Gracie Gardner. Against Avery Baker. And we have a 1-minute penalty for Arduini.
With 3 seconds to go.
3 seconds remaining. Baker scoops it up. Takes a couple cross checks to the back. As time expired. Maybe a little frustration from Pelletier. The Eagles win 16-3. Nolan, final thoughts before we call it a night?
I mean, that was a phenomenal second half for Husson, and they're going to have a really big game with MMA Tuesday night at 5 p.m. And for Thomas, they're going to play MMA as well as their next game. But they've got some time off. That's not until April 3rd. So, yeah.
So next 3 coming up for the Eagles as they move to 5-2 on the season, 1-0 in conference play. They take on the Mariners of Maine Maritime Academy on Tuesday the 31st in the annual Headstrong Foundation game. And then on Thursday, they will take on Dean College, allegedly. Because that game's been rescheduled like a bajillion times.
Yeah, allegedly.
That one will be at 4 o'clock. And then on the 11th, they will take on Maine Farmington at 3:30 here at Boucher Field for Senior Day. Thomas will take on Maine Maritime on Friday down in Castine. Then they will host Maine Farmington on the 7th. And they will travel to Vermont State Castleton for a away game on April 12th. From Nolan Humphreys and myself, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It may very well change their life. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.